Hey besties, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Cian, and today I am going to talk about my May reading wrap up and June TBR. I'm so excited because this is the first month where I have read enough books that I feel like I don't have to combine 2 months worth of reading. I have a variety of genres that I read in the month of May, and also I read 7 books in total. So I'm very excited because I actually read 5 physical books and then 2 on my Kindle. So if you guys are interested in watching this video, let's just go ahead and jump into it. So if my camera is like tilted, I apologize, and also if the lighting is off, I'm trying something new today. So we're just going to start with the books that I read first, and then we can talk about my June TBR afterwards. But I did a reading vlog for these 2 books that I finished, and that would be the Dreamland Billionaires series by Lauren Asher, and I finished Terms and Conditions and Final Offer as well. So I won't talk too much about these books just because you guys can go ahead and check it out in the reading video, and I don't want to be too repetitive. But basically the entire series is based on 3 brothers, and they each have a task that they need to complete in order to get their inheritance from their grandfather. And this one is basically about the older brother. It has like marriage of convenience, and this one is about the middle brother, and this one is basically like a second chance romance. I love reading fake dating and marriage of convenience, so this one was like my favorite book out of the 3, and I gave this one a 4.5 out of 5. I also enjoyed this one. I gave it a solid 4-star, and I think this is the first book that I read with a second chance romance. So I would definitely recommend the entire series if you guys haven't read it, but I thought it was a really nice story, and I just can't wait to read more books by Lauren Asher. I know she's coming out with a new series, and I'm so excited to get into that one because I also think that is like a billionaire like story. Next up, I finished Love Wager by Lynn Painter, and this one follows Mr. Wrong Number. You don't have to read Mr. Wrong Number, you can read this one by itself, and I really like her writing because it's just so easy to read, and it's light, fluffy, it's fun, and you can basically read this in one sitting. So I was happy because I think this is the first book that I read by the pool, so it gave me like all the summer vibes. This book is about Haley and Jack, and they both make like a wager to see who can find love first, and I think they're using like a dating app, and they go on different dates with different people. It's very fun. I think this is like a perfect summer read, so I would highly recommend, and I can't wait to read her new book that's coming out this year, and I think it's called Betting on You. But this book, I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. I think Better Than the Movies is still my favorite book from Lynn Painter. This one, I forgot to mention, is an adult romance. It's not a young adult, so I really enjoyed that book. Next up, I finished a memoir, and I don't really like to read memoirs just because I feel like I need to really know the person to connect well with them, and I gave this one a chance. It's called Crying in hmart by Michelle Zauner. I saw this in a lot of places, and at Barnes this book had its own table, and also my best friend loves this author. She is also a musician, and she goes by the name of Japanese Breakfast, and so my best friend loves the artist and this book, and so I like had to pick this up. Unfortunately, it was not for me. I don't know if it was because I didn't really know her, and so I did enjoy reading this book just because it's a very beautiful story. She really focuses on her relationship with her mom and what she had to experience during that time, and her relationship with her family, and it was nice to read. However, I didn't really like the writing style of this book, and I just didn't really connect with the book. I actually finished like 6 books before I finished this one. I never really wanted to pick this up. I still would recommend this just because I feel like even though it's not for me, a lot of people were reading this book, so it could be something that you guys would like. And the last physical book that I picked up was The Accidental Pinup by Danielle Jackson, and the cover is really cute. You guys will see this book in a future video, but I picked this up at Books A Million and I wanted to give it a chance because it sounded very interesting. It says, rival photographers are forced to collaborate on a body positive lingerie campaign, but they might have to readjust their focus when sparks fly. So I really like the idea of this book, and I will talk a little bit more about this book in a different video. It's just about two photographers, as you guys already hear, and Cassie and Reed are the characters in this book. Cassie ends up being a model instead of a photographer, and Reed is hired for the lingerie campaign that she has to do. So their relationship builds from just working together. But I didn't really enjoy this book. I did give this a 2 out of 5. But let me know your thoughts if you guys have read this book, and if you want to hear more about my thoughts, then just make sure to check out the next video. And then moving on to the last 2 books I read in May. These books were read on my Kindle. So the first one I want to talk about is The Perfect Marriage by Geneva Rose, and I gave this one a 4 out of 5. This book is basically about a man accused of murdering his mistress, and his wife is a lawyer, so she is going to defend him. I thought the story was very intriguing and I knew I had to pick this up. It was a pretty fast read just because I liked the pace of it and it kept me wanting to read some more. I actually didn't guess the ending and I was trying to guess the entire time, so I thought it was just fun to read. I didn't really like any of the characters that much, so it was just like a nice fun read. It was very fast, so I would highly recommend this book if you guys want to try something else. This is like the first mystery suspense book that I've read, so I don't really know how to compare it to other books, but I did enjoy this one, so I just gave it a 4 out of 5 and I would recommend this one. I was seeing this book around BookTube, so I wanted to pick that up and I'm glad that I did. I don't know if I'm going to get into thrillers and stuff like that just yet, but hopefully I will in the future. Finally, the last book I want to talk about is called The First Down by Grace O'Reilly, and this is part of the Beyond the Play series. I haven't heard much about this book, but I saw a few people getting PR packages. I just wanted to pick up a sports romance book and I saw this on Kindle Unlimited, so I wanted to try it out and I'm really glad that I picked it up. This one was a fun book to read. It is basically a football romance about Bex and James, and honestly James might be my new book boyfriend. I really liked his character and I thought this book was very cute. It was like straight to the point and the spice was like right there. It didn't have like much depth to it, so that's the only thing. I wish that there was more to the story, but it was just fun nonetheless, and I thought it would be a nice summer read, so I would highly recommend checking out the series, and I'm excited to get into the second one. I think the next 2 books are going to be a baseball romance and a hockey romance. It's going to be like my first baseball romance read, and I'm interested to see how the other 2 books will be. I am honestly so proud of myself for reading 7 books in May, just because I usually only read like 3 to 4 books, maybe 5 if it was like a good reading month. So for the month of June and July, I am basically going to read a bunch of summer books because I want to check them off of my TBR pile. So here are the books that I have to share. I'm actually missing one. The first book I want to talk about is Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez, and I read Part of Your World by her. That one is the first book to this one, but I think they're like standalones that you can just read this one. So I honestly don't remember the characters from the previous book, so I didn't know who this book was going to be about. This one is about Brianna and Jacob, and Brianna is Alexa's friend from the previous book. And so this book is like 2 doctors. I don't really know too much about it, but I did start reading this book and I'm on page 105. All I have to say so far is that this book is so freaking cute, and I know that I'm going to be hooked. I think this book might be better than the previous book for me. Part of Your World I gave 4 or 4.5 stars, but yeah, this is a book on my June TBR, and I'm so excited to continue reading. The next book that I have here is When in Rome by Sarah Adams, and this one I've just been seeing a lot of people talk about and read. Maybe it's because the second book is out, and so I have the second book as well, but I want to get into this book in the month of June just so that I can pick up the other book, because the other book, the cover is really cute, and this one is basically a pop star romance, and I think this will be the second one that I've read. The first one is Funny You Should Ask, and I did enjoy that one, so I'm very excited to get into this one. I know this one is also like a small town romance. Excited to see how this one will be, and also I feel like it will be a quick read just because it's so little. I also forgot to mention that you guys might see some of these books in future videos, but the next book that I have here is Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. You guys, this one I feel like is a 5-star read for a lot of people, and so I was like, I have to pick this up soon. It's so cute, and I want to hear the story. Like, I don't even know what it's about, because every time I see this book and someone talk about it, I skip just so that I don't hear anything, and I'm very excited. So it seems like a very cute read, and hopefully I can get to this in the month of June. Then I have Simmer Down by Sarah Smith, and this one is like a food truck competition. I don't really know too much about it, but I picked this up a little bit, I think on like my cruise. I didn't get far into it. I think I read I only got to page like 5 or something. This book seems to be about Nikki and Callum. Nikki owns a Filipino like food truck, and Callum is a British food truck owner. He parks like next to her truck and is stealing her customers basically. So they enter a food festival competition, and the winner gets to keep the spot. So it seems like an enemies to lovers. Hopefully I enjoy this one. I don't hear a lot of people talking about this book, so I do want to try and venture out different books that I don't hear a lot of people talking about, and hopefully this one will be a fun read. Then I have Every Summer After by Carly Fortune, and I think the second book just came out for this one as well, and so I think a lot of people are disappointed by the second one, but this one is a summer read. Obviously it says 6 summers to fall in love, 1 moment to fall apart, 1 weekend to get it right. I wish I had a lake near me or something so I can read this by the lake, but maybe I can read this by the pool, and hopefully I enjoyed this one as well. Then the next book I have is Book Lovers by Emily Henry, and this one would be my first Emily Henry read. I really want to get into this book because I hear so many things about it, and this has been on my TBR, so I don't know if I care too much about like 2 book lovers, but hopefully I enjoy it because I hear so many good things about it, and I feel like I have to enjoy it, right? So I'm so excited to read an Emily Henry book and get to the other ones. And the last book that I actually don't have here with me is Flawless by Elsie Silver, and I feel like everyone has been talking about the series. So the series is the Chestnut Spring series, and I actually have started that book as well. I'm on like page 50, and I'm so excited to continue reading because so far I am enjoying it, and it's giving me like the spring and summer vibes, and I'm here for it. So I can't wait to share my thoughts on that book with you guys. But those are all of the books that I have for the month of June. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I am so happy that I got to read some more books. Hopefully for June and July I am able to read more books just because I am going on vacation. Can't wait to talk more about books with you guys. Let me know your favorite read in the month of May and what book you're looking forward to reading in the month of June. And feel free to share your thoughts with me down below. I would love to hear whatever you guys have to say. Thank you so much for watching this video. I would really appreciate it if you guys hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!